Alrighty, so the week is now over, and there was literally nothing that happened since my earlier take, my earlier vlog. There was a little bit. I did check in right around 1 o'clock on the 4 hour close, which is at the close of this candle. It did close above 750, and I did say that I wanted to be in if that happened. It was a combination of things of why I didn't get in. Number one, I saw that by the time that I actually checked, this candle was forming right here, and I didn't want to actually be a part of a long when a potential, hammer candle and bearish engulfing was going to form. And obviously it didn't. The later half of the day, I got very busy with work stuff, and that's just life. And I didn't. It didn't actually do that. This was kind of like a fake hammer candle or upside down kangaroo tail inverted hammer candle, whatever you want to call it. And it actually wasn't a bearish signal. There also wasn't any. I mean, you could argue there was a tiny bit of bearish divergence here. Is it? Is it really? No, not even. Technically, not even. Yeah. So there's, maybe you'd have to really push it for bearish divergence to. You'd have to try to be forcing it at this point to be calling out bearish divergence. Maybe a little bit from here to here, a little, but on the 15 minute, it's also not as strong or significant. So if you got to really try to squeeze out bearish divergence, it's probably a sign that you're biased and you're trying to force your opinion onto the market, which is very easy and very common to do, especially when you want to be right. But it's one of those temptations we gotta practice avoiding. And so, and I've been, I think when I had my losing streak, I was doing a little bit of that, and I did a lot less of that. I made a conscious effort to do a lot less of that this week and last week, and my account is in much better standing. It's basically like I gave away all my profits, and then I kind of gained all of that back, and I'll get into that with the weekly summary. I did want a piece of it. Once I saw this candle form, I did want it, but I didn't. I didn't get picked up. I forgot to enter the order. I saw these two candles print, and I was like, "It's the end of the week. What's the point?" Something could happen over the weekend. It's just not generally the best practice to enter a trade on a Friday afternoon. So I was like, "Yes, okay, I got." This was not a bearish signal. It was not followed by a red candle. Um, if this happened, let's say if today was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, I probably would have put that limit order there at the 750 and the backup order at the 675 and try to push this back up to the 4,000. But now, now I'm not going to be trading on Sunday either because this Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday. So it's like life kind of does matter when taking certain positions on certain days, right? It's trade management is just as important as um, account management, I should say. Account management is just as important as individual trading execution. So that's it for the charts. Let's look at my account and how we've been doing this week. As you can see, my account at its worst was right around the break even part. At the end of January. January was a terrible month for me, which is funny because it was a great month for the markets. And because they moved up my I guess the trailing stop of the failure, the maximum account drawdown, they trail that up. I was very 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 close to failing, but I mean I got my groove back and just less is more. That's the lesson of the week there, or the past 2 weeks there. Started doing less and just sticking with the strategy, and that was way better. I think that let me get back into this with account analysis, or rather the account history. Nope, wrong account. Okay, so this account, let's take a look at just the Monday to Friday for this week, which was February 6 to 10. Let's copy paste. I love that they give me this here. This is such a relief that I don't have to do this myself. I think they missed some stuff here too. There is a little bit of a discrepancy with what I see and with what I see on TradingView specifically and what they report as on my account balance. But sometimes they need a little bit, they need a day or so to reconcile all of the values, all of the trading and everything. But eventually they get it right. Okay. So, what happened? That doesn't sound right. It looks like I missed one. Oh, okay, I missed this one. There's just to be... Okay. So, I ended last week... Whoops, nope. This should be up here. And that's right. Okay. So last week I ended with one loss of $25 on this $15,000 account off of the previous win. And then this week I started off with two wins in a row back to back. That's great. One loss. So let's take a look at how we did here. I have one. How many trades is this total? 11 trades, of which I lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I won. That means I won 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I won 5, lost 6. So pretty close to a 50% win rate this week, which is good. That's about what it's supposed to be. This is supposed to be about a 50-50 kind of trade strategy, but with a risk reward of way more than that, 3-1, 4-1, and it's supposed to. That's why this is such a great strategy. It's so simple, and the risk reward over time is there so long as you can execute properly. So all of this stuff, it's just. I mean, it could also be a lucky week as well. But overall, it should be around, the win rate is supposed to be around like 40 to almost 50%. Especially because I made it a point to take only 3-1s. Notice that in the past 2 weeks, I didn't shoot for 500 points, like ever. All 250 points is, I know that because my lot size is always the same, except for on the S&P 500. That's it, right? My lot size on the US 30, the Dow, is always the same, and my risk is always the same. The discrepancy only comes from the spread and the limiter, and that's it, right? But for the most part, it's 30 bucks, and the win is always 100, around 100, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less, depending on, again, the spread. So that makes calculating and assessing my own analytics, my own performance, really easy, because I don't mess with my trades. Like I didn't really trail anything. I did put stops at break even. I know I did that, and I forgot to do that with the S&P 500. I do know that, but that didn't actually affect the net result. Like it never actually hit any of those this particular week. And so I won 5, lost 6, pretty damn close to a 50-50, and my win rate, my total performance, my total profit, I guess the sum of it is 339. So I went from 187 or 162 rather to 494, which I don't think that's actually correct, because okay, maybe it is. I'm not I'm not sure. My TradingView account actually shows something else. I think, yeah, my TradingView account shows this. So I feel like there's something that is something's different right now, but that's okay. I'll give them the weekend to try and sort that out. But basically, the idea is I am now kind of close, halfway to the halfway point, a little bit, maybe a little bit more than the halfway point to my target of passing this evaluation. And I was here before in January, in the beginning of January, kind of gave away all my profits for about 2 straight weeks, and then another two weeks of making it back. So I kind of did this past month 2 really bad weeks with coupled with 2 pretty good weeks, just brought me back to where I was starting at, right around my high point, which was around right around here, 15,538. So I'm kind of close. I'm a little bit short of that, but I'm kind of near where I was starting. Um, Not my starting, where I was at my peak. So I'm kind of near back to my peak performance. And obviously my target is to get to 15,900, which would have me pass this challenge, literally trading only one or two assets, which is what these guys wanted from me, which is fine. I didn't know that before, so I'm happy with how this week went. This is the kind of week that let's see. Let me ask. Let me see. Prior the previous week, how many trades did I take? From January 30th to February 3rd is January 30th to February 3rd. That was 13 trades. This week was 11. Between 11 to 13 is pretty good. I guess that's around my sweet spot. So I'm just gonna say maybe 10 to 15 trades. I'm just gonna give myself that range. And when did I do poorly here? 23 to 27. I know it was a really, really bad week. So 23 to 27. Let's see. Oh, is that as high as I go there? Okay. And that was 17. So a few more trades. Most of them losses. How bad was it? Let's take a sum. Sum was minus 247. That's just terrible. That's out of 17. I had one win. One win out of 17. I guess this is technically a break even. This was a trail stop. So technically that's a win, but really low risk reward on that. That's not even a 1-to-1 risk reward. And this is probably a break even or something. Oh, and I got a one, and I squeezed out a 1-to-1. So this is the thing that happens when I think at this time I was still going for the 500, and it wasn't really working out because we were stuck in such a nasty range. But it was just too ambitious and greedy, and my account really paid the price for it, stacking up losses. And a lot of this was revenge trading and revenge mindset and over trading. As you can see, this is 17, yeah, 17 trades, which is 50% more trades than I took last week, and almost nearly 75%, or not quite double, but maybe 75% more trades than I took this week. And so that, just by trading 3 fewer times, or getting picked up on 3 fewer trades and being a little bit more selective, can turn it all around. So since then, my account has gone up 500 over the next 24 trades spread over the next 2 weeks. So this is my I feel like I'm more in a groove now. I'm synced up to the market. Even though if you look at let's bring back the chart and finish on the chart one more time. If you look at the chart and you look at, I guess, let's just go to the 4 hour, and let's go to all the way back to the crappy week that I had, which was starting from January 30th. So starting from January 30th, which is right around here, okay, the market just went up and down like crazy. If anything, I could argue that the my point there is that since January 30th, it's not like the market moved any differently. It was just chopping up and down inside of the range between the 500 and the 4250, just under 4250, 4222 technically, and it was just chopping around inside there for 2 weeks. And it's not like the market moved any different. It was me that was different, and this is good reinforcement for how it's trading is the market's going to do what it's going to do. Trading is mostly about the individual trader's mindset, and for me, this is hitting the reset button on the mindset and on the discipline for the past 2 weeks, and I'm finally back to where I was before at my peak.